When former President Obama told supporters last week in a leaked phone call that he undoubtedly saw to it was leaked, I mean, who knows, but it was leaked, that the Justice Department's decision to drop the case against General Mike Flynn, the former national security advisor, is a threat to the rule of law, he was relying entirely on the fictitious Russia-Trump collusion probe and claiming that, that investigation was, by his administration, was lawful and legitimate. But of course, it wasn't, writes John Daniel Davidson. A string of recently released documents have confirmed that the entire Russia-Trump investigation, which entrapped Flynn, forced Jeff Sessions to recuse himself, was an unprecedented abuse of power that amounted to an organized effort by the Obama administration to nullify the results of the 2016 presidential election. It was, in effect, he writes, an attempted coup. Now, if you haven't picked that up from the news media, it's not your fault. I mean, the mainstream media is fixated on Trump's use of Obamagate and dismissing it as a conspiracy theory. He says that's to be expected. For years now, the media have done everything they can to push the Trump-Russia collusion hoax. Even after Mueller turned up nothing, using the complexity of the scheme to hide what he says is the greatest political scandal of our time in plain sight. Key aspect of the scheme was and is to make the case against General Flynn appear legitimate. Flynn faced trumped-up charges that he misled the FBI agents about conversations he had with then the Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak. As the incoming national security advisor, Flynn was doubtless having conversations with numerous heads of state and ambassadors, nothing unusual about it. The Obama administration knew about the conversations with Kislyak because it had recordings of them, thanks to a series of investigations it spun out of the Crossfire hurricane counterintelligence probe of the Trump campaign, an investigation which itself was a bogus investigation based on the Steele dossier, a fraudulent document riddled with Russian disinformation. So, why did the FBI want to interview Michael Flynn ahead of Trump's inauguration in January of 2017? Top brass at the FBI weren't exactly sure about their approach, but they knew they needed to get Flynn out of the way. As the Bureau's former head of counterintelligence recorded in his notes, what is our goal? Truth/admission, or to get him to lie so we can prosecute him or get him fired? Apparently, the Obama administration settled on trying to entrap him in a lie. The disclosure of a January 2017 Oval Office meeting attended by Obama, Biden, Susan Rice, Sally Yates, and Comey confirms the administration's plan to hide the Russia probe from the incoming Trump team, including Flynn. They were using the Kislyak calls as a pretext to keep the Flynn investigation open, even though there was no reason to do so. After months of spying on him, the FBI found nothing to indicate General Flynn conspired with the Russians. As Susan Rice herself wrote in an email, President Obama said he wants to be sure that, as we engage with the incoming team, we are mindful to ascertain if there's any reason we cannot share information fully as it relates to Russia. The point, John Daniel Davidson at the Federalist writes, the point was to keep the Flynn investigation open as a way for Obama holdovers, Comey, Yates, Andrew McCabe, to continue the Russia-Trump collusion probe even after Trump took office, and to keep Flynn out of the loop. There's no reason to keep investigating Flynn, so the Obama administration invented a reason. The preposterous notion that he intentionally misled Vice President Mike Pence about his conversations with Kislyak and then lied about it to the FBI. He says there's no evidence this happened, but even if there were, it wouldn't matter. As the Justice Department explained in its decision to drop the Flynn case, the investigation of Flynn was untethered to and unjustified by the FBI's counterintelligence investigation. Now, here's what Americans need to know, he writes. The Flynn case is just one piece of a much larger story about how the Obama administration, with the full knowledge and support of both Obama and Joe Biden, targeted incoming Trump officials in a failed attempt to cripple the new administration with allegations it colluded with Moscow. The complexity of their scheme and the efforts to hide it and mislead the American people are frustrating, he acknowledges. The cast of characters, from high-ranking Obama administration officials to relative nobodies loosely associated with Trump's campaign, is long, as is the timeline of events. Details have come out slowly in fits and starts over the course of years. Following all the leaks and declassified transcripts and congressional hearings requires constant vigilance. If you don't keep up with it, you can easily lose the thread. That all works to the advantage of those who perpetrated the hoax, because it's easy to get overwhelmed and tune it all out or simply accept the corporate media's deceptive reporting. But the ongoing revelations about the FBI's targeting of Flynn cannot be ignored. They demand a full accounting. If ever there was a threat to the rule of law, it was the Obama administration's abuse of power and its weaponization of intelligence agencies in an attempt to take down Donald Trump. However convoluted it might seem, he says, pay attention to it. It's the biggest political scandal of our time. That's a column by John Daniel Davidson at the Federalist. We'll post it at mikeonline.com. Make sure that you have a chance to read it, because it is a crucial piece of knowledge that you need to have during these difficult times. There's a lot going on, a lot of different things to keep up with. Got a lot of great partners who are helping us weather the storm, like Fellowship Home Loans. Portions of our show brought to you by Fellowship Home Loans. Call 800-510-MIKE or go to fellowshiphomeloans.com. Fellowship Home Loans, welcome home. Don't forget, givingmasks.com/Mike. And boy, the Angel Tree Prison Fellowship Ministry, we're up to 387 children sponsored. Thank you. Please go to Mike Online and give to these needy kids. What a day. We got through another one. We'll be here again tomorrow. Keep it right here on this great radio station all day long for news, opinion, passion. Hope you have a terrific Wednesday. Keep your head up and keep fighting the good fight. I'm Mike Gallagher. God bless America.